going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Coffee with KP. My name is Kelly Park, and I go by KP the Builder. And I have a very special guest here with us today, and I'm going to let him introduce himself.
All right, I'm Ernest Wilson from Orlando, Florida, JADE Events, marketing.
And more. Cool.
A whole lot.
So,
quite a bit.
Being that I've known you for over 25 years now, always been a great relationship. And I've seen your growth from starting out promoting. I know I came and y'all was already doing it, but to see where you're at right now, working on some big ventures, what is one of the main events that you're pushing right now? I know you're a marketing company, but as a whole, what is your main focus right now?
I would say it's Music Fest Orlando, which is a music festival in Orlando. I actually was working with Funk Fest for quite a while. Wasn't a part of Funk Fest, but when he brought it to the city, I basically helped Leo Bennett, who also a FAMU grad. Okay. You know, he started with Funk Fest, and I helped him out, you know, to kind of make the connects to do what they need to do. And then basically after a couple of years later, you know, I just basically started my own festival, which is actually originally was called Soul Fest. Okay. Central Florida Soul Fest with Frankie Beverly, Anthony Hamilton, Tank, Jacquees, K. Michelle. That event was actually moving forward and was getting ready to actually happen. And then COVID came and shut us down like 2 weeks before the show. So, you know, to be able to, gain the knowledge of doing something at that level and to get out there, you know, for a good year or so and with the type of money and effort to put into it and to be able to be in a position where it gets shut down 2 weeks before, man. You know, unless you got some, unless you've been in the game for a minute and got a backbone, man, that should have knocked you off your feet. Yeah. So I mean, I was down for a good 2 years, trying to keep that thing together. So I was luckily be able to keep everything together, and I made it happen in 22. My business partner at the time, he basically wanted to tap out, because it wasn't really his industry when he did it. But it was just a little tough. That's a little tough roller coaster when you're dealing with that type of event with so many moving pieces and so much money to put out there. So I ended up kind of pivoting a little bit, and I changed the name to Music Fest Orlando. The 23, I ended up doing Music Fest. It was a great success. Had Fantasia, Babyface, Goody Mob, Plies, Life Jennings, hosted by Ricky Smiley. Yeah. That was a solid one, man. It went really well. Only reason why I went big like that was because after with Soul Fest, K. Michelle and Jacquees didn't perform at that one. Gotcha. It's a whole lot of stuff that went on with that situation there. Jacquees ended up missing his plane, and K. Michelle tried to renegotiate some stuff, so we had to some last minute stuff, which what a promoter has to deal with, which So we Frankie did his thing, Tank did his thing, and we kind of moved on from there. So what I did the following year, I had to restamp myself. It was almost like me pivoting and starting all over again. So I had to kind of reboot myself, and that's the reason why I had Babyface and Fantasia, which are two headliners technically on one day. That was it was a very high budget, a little tough, but I was able to pull it off, and it went really well. Then I came back this year. The third year, this past year, I had Keith Sweat, Tank, Plies, Trina, Trick. Trick didn't make it. He had a medical situation, so he didn't make it. And then it ended up raining a little late, so Tank and Keith Sweat didn't perform. So this year was a little rough one on me. But I can say that the response that I got, people, they enjoyed Trina. They really enjoyed Plies. Plies kind of saved the show. Yeah. I gotta say, Plies is he's a good one. I gotta say, Plies put on a great show, and as well as Music Soul Child. Soul Child did a great job as well. So they kind of saved my show, this year. So I'm coming back for the fourth year, technically fourth year. That'll be happening in the spring. We're looking at quite a bit of artists right now that I can't really announce, but my partnership this year, which is going to be kind of elevated the brand, working with Mike Gardner with Headliner, as well as Alex from AG Touring. So it's having those two guys, as well as Kevin Edwards, who owns Opium. So having those three guys, kind of on my side, on my team, man.
You can't do what you do by yourself.
No, you can't.
I've been to a lot of festivals, especially working with Live Nation, and it takes a team.
It takes a team.
One person would go berserk. Like I always say, if I ever get back into the promotional world, which I did for like 15, 20 years before I moved to Atlanta, it would only be for festivals. Correct. It wouldn't be for regular weekly parties or anything like that, because I understand how festivals work more now. And once you assemble the right team and get the right accommodations for the event space, as far as the location and the date and preferably the perfect weather, you can make so much paper. Like being with Live Nation, we went to the Roots picnic earlier this year up in Philly, man. And when I tell you, I've never seen that many people in my life, and I'm comparing it to one music fest.
Correct.
They had over 100,000 people at this event.
Yep.
Minimum ticket, $200.
Yeah.
You do the math.
Yeah.
We had VIPs, and of course they were gifted to us, but they were $2,500 tickets.
Yep. Yeah.
So
I mean, it's a profitable business, but it also can crush you.
Oh yeah.
If you don't.
That's why you need a team and a proper sponsorship.
Yeah, proper sponsorship, and it takes like, man, I had a chance to talk to Jay Carter, who won Music Fest. I have some connects with some folks down at Jazz in the Gardens, as well as talking to Leo. But it actually takes about a good 3 to 5 years to really get you where you need to be, unless your plan just really comes together pretty quick. And I mean, this year, going into my technically third year, I have the right type of partnership to the point to where, the dynamics and the whole operations is going to completely change. Yeah,
people that you mentioned that you partner with, like Mike and Alex, and your other partner, I forgot it.
Kevin Edwards,
yeah. They understand promotions. They understand large events.
Correct.
They understand the work that goes into it. Like a lot of partnerships that you have that just have money, they don't understand promotions. They don't understand that anything can happen. They don't understand act of God clause. They don't understand these type of situations that can happen that could, put a bad taste in the people's mouths, and they demand refunds or whatever. Artists may not show up. It's a lot of moving parts. It's like a machine.
Correct.
And you can only control what you can control.
Correct.
And speaking of control, I always tell people, regardless of what you're doing, you can't control nothing but your mind.
Correct.
You can't control nothing in your body or outside your body. You can't control your car, right? You can go out there and get in that car right now and try to drive home safely, but everything around you matters for you to make it there safely.
Exactly.
So everything around, whatever you have in your mind for this event matters. It has to be working correctly and on time for it to be successful. I looked at when y'all was doing Kapalua and all that. That was my first time going out like that. I'm 18, 19, and y'all slamming 30,000 people in Quincy.
Yeah.
Like Midway, and I'm like, that was remarkable. Y'all had Coca-Cola, y'all had the whole Dungeon family from Outkast to Goody to everybody. So it was just me seeing that, not to mention the Cash Money show. Y'all had Wayne and Turk and Juve and BG, everybody. Man, listen, it was a great time, and that's what you're going back to. That type of energy, because I know you did the nightlife. I know you did the weekly clubs and the owning clubs and that type of stuff. But festivals, man, that's a different beast.
Yeah, man.
And with the right people, man, it can be so rewarding.
Yeah. I don't really, I technically, man, I'm kind of dabbling a little bit, with the nightlife stuff. But I really don't want to do the nightlife stuff. A lot of the stuff I do right now kind of focus around FAMU events.
Let me tell you something before you carry on. Nightlife is like fixing and flipping. Creating something new is like new construction.
Yeah.
So festivals are new construction. You can get a way much more reward. But with nightlife, you have to go in and convince people that this is what you need to do.
Correct.
And it's way harder when you're working in a venue that has been painted a certain picture, especially in Central Florida. The venues are limited. So people get a bad taste in their mouth about a venue. It may switch ownerships, but that they still gonna think the same way about that space.
Exactly.
So speaking of fixing, flipping, and new construction, I know you're trying to get into real estate a little more.
Yeah.
And that's one of the main reasons I wanted to have you on this podcast, man, because I want to be your guy. I know where you come from. I know your mindset. And if you can promote parties and put the stuff in line that you need to do that, you can build a house from the ground up. It's all working with people.
Definitely.
It's all just putting your ducks in a row and understanding what you expect from each person to be performed for you to get to the next level.
Correct.
So I like working with entrepreneurs, bro, especially one such as your caliber who has done mega festivals and stuff like that, man. Yeah. So I'm excited about everything that we gonna do together. We definitely gonna be working really, really soon, preferably before the end of this year, which is 2024. And I'm gonna be in Orlando. We're gonna find some land. We already got some land in Lake County and Marion County, but we're gonna find some in Orange County or even Osceola and, get to it. So tell them your Instagram and the dates for your next events.
Instagram is I am JADE Events. My date for the music festival will be Saturday and Sunday, April the 12th and 13th. Actually moving venues, but yeah. Y'all will get the information. Yeah, you'll get the information.
April 12th and 13th, go ahead and pencil it off, man. I appreciate you coming on, bro. It was great talking to you, and let's continue building.
Definitely, brother.
All right,
I appreciate you.
Man.
All right.
Thank you for tuning in. If you like today's episode, please share it with a friend or two, and please comment. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel.